This is CBS News New York.
What is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential.
Right now at noon, President Trump on the world stage addressing the United Nations General Assembly. His harsh criticism of the organization and U.S. allies. His comments on Palestinian statehood and what he just called the greatest con job in the world. Plus a massive threat thwarted. The Secret Service says it has prevented what it's calling an imminent threat for New York at the UN General Assembly. How they did it ahead. And here's a live look outside right now. Things look good at the moment, but showers will be moving into our area. Meteorologist Tony Sadiku tells us when you'll need to grab the umbrella. Good afternoon, I'm Cindy Hsu, now on air and streaming on CBS News New York. Three big headlines coming out of the United Nations General Assembly this noon. First, President Trump addressing world leaders. This happening as the Secret Service says it seized a cache of equipment in the New York region capable of crashing the cellular network. Plus, it's a traffic nightmare on the east side near the UN due to protests and road closures. We start with that speech from President Trump. Joining me now is Alice Gaynor with a wrap-up of his remarks.
Well, technical issues. We're not safe from them, and apparently the UN isn't safe from them either. There were some technical issues to start off President Trump's address, which he laughed off before diving into what he says his administration has done. Trump also criticized the UN itself. President Trump's comments went well over the 15-minute recommended time limit for speakers. He spoke for just under an hour.
And I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter, because the teleprompter is not working.
President Trump joked the teleprompter operator was in big trouble, then said he would speak from the heart. Reading from his notes, Mr. Trump called this the golden age of America and slammed the previous administration.
Under my leadership, energy costs are down, gasoline prices are down, grocery prices are down, mortgage rates are down, and inflation has been defeated.
Mortgage rates are down. Inflation is up slightly since the announcement and implementation of his tariffs. Grocery prices rose 2.7% in August compared to the year before. Energy prices are down overall, but electricity bills are up. Gas prices are a bit higher since his inauguration day. Gas prices are usually higher in the summer. President Trump also took this time to criticize the United Nations.
What is the purpose of the United Nations?
Regarding trying to end the war in Ukraine,
I thought that would be the easiest because of my relationship with President Putin, which had always been a good one. I thought that was going to be the easiest one. But, you know, in war, you never know what's going to happen.
He added,
it's not making Russia look good. It's making them look bad.
As for several key Western allies of the U.S. formally recognizing a Palestinian state,
the rewards would be too great for Hamas terrorists for their atrocities. This would be a reward for these horrible atrocities, including October 7th, even while they refuse to release the hostages or accept a ceasefire.
Trump also touted his administration's efforts to crack down on border protection.
It's time to end the failed experiment of open borders. You have to end it now. See, I can tell you, I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell.
Trump also attacked renewable energy and said this of climate change.
It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion.
Well, just last week, the independent National Academy of Sciences said evidence that climate change harms public health is without a doubt. It says human activity is releasing greenhouse gases that are warming the planet and causing extreme temperatures and changing oceans. Cindy, separately, Trump mentioned New York City by name. He did say he feels very safe here in Manhattan.
All right, Alice Gaynor, thank you. Now, protests outside the UN during the president's address only added to the gridlock and security clampdown. Traffic has been crawling with street closures, motorcades and demonstrators packing the area. Natalie Duddridge is live on the east side with the latest. Natalie.
Well, Cindy, those protesters have mostly cleared out now that President Trump's address has wrapped up. Just a handful of people now carrying signs, but we do see still very heightened security behind us in this frozen zone. This truck is just going to pass, but behind it there, you can see there is police, their Secret Service, keeping the area locked down. Cruisers, dump trucks, barricades, complete with checkpoints where we are. Starting at 7 this morning, demonstrators rallied by the New York Public Library. Then they marched east as close as as they could get to the UN perimeter, where, as we mentioned, security extremely tight. Protests here were largely peaceful from what we saw. Police appeared to be telling people as long as they stayed on the sidewalk, they were left alone. However, the NYPD did move in on those who were on the road blocking traffic, and they did arrest, from what we counted, more than a dozen people. We're still awaiting NYPD for the confirmation on those arrest numbers. We also spoke to protesters out here reacting to President Trump's speech, calling on dignitaries as well to address global issues from democracy to the environment.
We are addressing the world leaders to say Donald Trump does not represent the Americans that care about democracy and freedoms and rights and empathy.
None of us are going to survive if we don't take care of the earth. We need clean water. We need clean air. We need to stop these billionaires from having free reign on the things that belong to us.
And of course, this morning's protest just adding to the gridlock alert week. Of course, First Ave closed from 42nd to 48th and between 1st and 2nd as well. These rolling FDR closures for motorcades, these disruptions will last through the week as these dignitaries continue to arrive. More motorcades, more security, and very likely throughout the week, more protests. So whether you are commuting, whether you are working, performing deliveries, we just spoke to several drivers here that said so far it's taken them at least an extra hour to get around on the east side. That's the latest from the east side. Natalie Duddridge, CBS News, New York.
Natalie, thank you. As the world leaders gathered, the Secret Service says it stopped a massive telecom threat. The agency says it dismantled a hidden telecom network across our area that could have crippled cell towers and other communications, such as 911 calls. Jennifer Bisram is live from the newsroom with more. Jennifer.
Cindy, this was a massive plot to disrupt New York City's cell network and threaten the UN General Assembly. According to the Secret Service, it's the largest seizure of SIM servers and cards the agency has ever seen.
Given the timing, location, and proximity, and potential for significant disruptions to the New York telecom system, we moved quickly to disrupt this network.
The Secret Service announced Tuesday agents disrupted a sprawling telecommunications network in the New York City area that posed a serious potential disruption to New York's telecom systems during the United Nations General Assembly this week. New York's special agent in charge says an investigation was launched this spring after telecommunications-related threats towards government officials.
The investigation led us to the New York tri-state area, where investigators discovered tens of thousands of co-located and networked cellular devices capable of carrying out nefarious telecommunications attacks.
The agency found what's called an active SIM farm scattered across 5 abandoned apartment buildings. Investigators say they discovered 300 SIM servers with over 100,000 SIM cards, enabling encrypted anonymous communication and capable of sending 30 million text messages per minute.
These devices allowed anonymous encrypted communications between potential threat actors and criminal enterprises, enabling criminal organizations to operate undetected.
We're told the equipment was found within 35 miles of the United Nations just weeks before the General Assembly. Investigators say they also found drugs, illegal firearms, computers, and phones. The investigation was launched by a new division within the Secret Service with Homeland Security Investigations called the Advanced Threat Interdiction Unit.
We will continue working towards identifying those responsible and their intent, including whether their plan was to disrupt the UN General Assembly and communications of government and emergency personnel during the official visit of world leaders in and around New York City.
And officials say the servers they found were so powerful, they could have disabled cell phone towers and launch attacks with the ability to block EMS and police dispatch. The Secret Service says there have not been any arrests yet. The investigation is ongoing. But the good news is the devices no longer pose any threat to New Yorkers. In the newsroom, Jennifer Bisram, CBS News, New York.
Jennifer, thank you. And stay with us for complete coverage all week of the General Assembly. For more on the speakers and the street closures, go to cbsnewyork.com.